Wisconsin. Just a minute. As I was walking down the street one day, and a man came up to me and asked me what the time it was upon my watch. And I said, ooh, does anybody really know what time it is? Okay, hi there. It's ML singing a little Chicago with ML's words of wisdom from Wisconsin. And today's show is all about time. What time is it? You may be saying, ML, you got a clock on the wall. What time is it? Well, it's 5:20. Or as sometimes I like to say, it's 4:80. Right? Because there's 60 minutes in an hour. And so if you add 60 plus 20 is 80 and subtract it from 5:20 and it's 4 o'clock plus 80 minutes. So it's 5:20, so that's how you can tell time. And 4 o'clock sounds earlier. So it sounds like I still can have a lot of time to do everything that I haven't gotten done today yet from my to-do list, of things that I have to do. So anyway, it's all about time, and time is relative. I think we made up time. Because, I was thinking the other day, I water my plants once a week on Wednesday. And if there were 8 days in a week, would I water them every, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Grande? Maybe there would be the 8th day would be called Grande. Would I water my plants every 8 days? And then would they get thirsty? Because they're used to 7 days. Who decided on 7? Right? Who decided on 24 hours in a day? Huh? You tell me. Why not 25? Right? Why not 23? Why not 20? Why not 100? Then it's really easy. Well, all these questions. Today's show is going to be very scientific because I'm going to talk about time. I saw these two very, very, very smart men on a show on Sunday on TV. And they were talking about they want to have one time for the whole world, okay? Now, I've got some props here to help explain, okay? Here's the world, okay? It's spinning around on its axis, right? And these two very smart gentlemen wanted to have the time that it is at Greenwich Village, England, which is like, right, it's like the meridian, the longitude line goes right through Greenwich Village, England. And it's kind of near London or what have you. So here it is. And whatever time it is there. So if it's like 6 in the morning there, it's 6 in the morning all around the world. So they say that it'll make everything easier. And I don't know how that's going to work. They say pilots do that. So they don't have to go through different time zones. Now, for example, if you're in one time zone, if you're in New York City and it's 2 o'clock, then you go out west. Just a minute, my clock's over here. And it's going to be 5 o'clock. Oh, wait a minute, I got that backwards. Okay, never mind. Let me switch it around. If you're in New York City and it's 5 o'clock in the evening, because the sun is going like around the earth is going around the sun and it's turning. And so the earth is like, the sun is staying the same kind of, but the earth is like turning. So if it's 5 o'clock in New York, then it's 2 o'clock in like Colorado, 3 hours, because the sun hasn't turned to 5 o'clock there yet. But these two guys, these very smart people, they want to make it 2 o'clock all over the world. Okay? So that means what they're thinking is that you would... Okay, let's say you get up normally at 6 a.m. Well, at 6 a.m. in Greenwich is like noon. So now you don't get up at 6 a.m. anymore. You still get up when the sun comes up in your neighborhood, but now it's noon. So now you say, you look at your watch, you go, ooh, time for me to start my day. It's noon. It's 12 p.m. Okay, now it gets confusing too because there's this thing called the International Dateline, okay? And that's over by Guam or whatever. I don't know. Here it is on this globe. It's like right here, see? Look. Near Hawaii or whatnot. And so if you go over the International Dateline, you lose a day because the earth is spinning. And so they've got to play catch up. So I think if you go below the equator, it's like a whole different season. You lose 6 months. So, if you're traveling, God bless you. If you're traveling all over the world, you don't know where you're going. So, and we've moved on from these, like abacus style, Christopher Columbus type, timepieces. We've moved on to, these things now. But one more thing I need to explain. That this is a calendar for the year, and there's I got in the mail, and there's a lot of different important dates. Let me show you. In January, there's January 1st. That's the first day of the year. Okay, so it's like Happy New Year. Hi, baby New Year. And then, then we go through February. This year, we're going to have an extra day because the Earth rotates on its axis 365.25 days every year. So 0.25 of 24 hours, 6 hours. So every year you gain 6 hours, and I don't know what day gets an extra 6 hours, but they accumulate them all so that on February 29, everybody gets 6 times 4 is 24. You get an extra day. So if it's your birthday, you get to celebrate your birthday. Otherwise, you have to wait 3 years for your next birthday. But maybe 6 hours every year, you can say, this is my 6-hour birthday. Little every year. Okay, and then March 20th is the spring solstice. No, equinox. That's when the earth is spinning and it's tilting and there's 12 hours of daylight on top and 12 hours of nighttime on the bottom. And then in the fall, it switches around and it's 12 hours of daylight down here and 12 hours of sunlight up here. And that's in September 20th. And it's always on the 20th. I don't know how they work that out. That's very convenient. So I'm glad that, that's a standard. It's a mainstay. And then June 20th is the summer solstice. This is the longest day of the year because the earth is tilting away from the sun. And then it goes the other way on December 20th. It tilts farther away towards the sun, farther away, and then it's dark a long time. So, if you travel, you got to know where you're going, number one, and what time it is there. Because otherwise, you'll be, I knew someone who went to Hawaii and from Kenosha, Wisconsin, and they didn't want to adopt to the 6 hours ahead or behind time slot. So they were eating breakfast at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and lunch was at 7 p.m. at night, and they were going to bed at 4 in the morning because they were on Kenosha time. So you can do that too if you're up for it. Well, I know this is all confusing, but I hope that you've had a good time. And, does anybody really know what time it is? Thanks for watching. I hope that this cleared things up for you. Bye-bye now.